up, you guys? This is Rob from Gay Guy Plays, and today on Dress to Kill, we're going to be taking a closer look at the Wukong Auman skin, which is available via Tennogen. Now, of course, I'm going to be showing you guys a couple different looks, we're going to be swapping around some helmets, and I'll show you guys a couple armor pieces that I actually like the fit on it. So, without ado, let's get dressed. Now, starting this off, I actually want to do a little bit of a twist from the original Wukong variation that I had, which used kind of burgundies and golds. However, I did want to do something a little bit more vibrant, and I think it has something to do with the skin itself. So as you guys can see, everything with Reiku's skin is very geometric, it's very bold. I feel like the colors are really, really well placed because there's a tendency for some artists to really put their color, I guess their color mapping just all over the place. Like there's 5, 6, 7 different colors all in the same little area. I know you can't have 7 different colors in an area, but I'm just saying, you know, there's a lot of detailing, over detailing when it comes to the color placement. But when it comes to Reiku's skin, he's really, really an artist with shading. So he does a lot of great shading, and he lets the shading do the detail work rather than having little bits of color all over the place. It's not messy. All of his colors are very centralized in certain places. So as you can see, you know, the chest and the legs are where, you know, all of the color placements are for the tertiary color, and then of course the secondary colors focus around his waist and on his crown. So it's not like you got all of these little spindly bits all over the place. It's like the color is very well blocked, and that's what I really, really like about this. It almost makes me feel like you can go a bit bolder with it, and that's what I actually went ahead and did here. I actually amped up the original colors that we had on the Wukong and made them a bit more intense, and it gave this really, really cool graphical feel. It almost feels, I dare to say it, a little bit Gundam-esque, and I'm a big fan. So that's kind of where I wanted to take it with this look, because I like the original look that I had, but because of the fact that we're using Reiku's skin, I wanted to take that look and amp it up just as much as he amped up the skin itself. So speaking of looking a little bit like a Gundam, I actually went ahead and embraced that theme for our second look. Now, if truth be told, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of putting armor on the Wukong skin either. I feel very similar to the Vauban Grax. I just like it on its lonesome. However, if you are going to do it, the Syrinx is a fantastic choice for it for a couple different reasons. Now, as you guys have been playing Wukong for a while know that he is a bit bottom heavy because of the skirt that's on him. So it kind of keeps all of the weight towards the bottom of the Warframe's frame. However, by putting on the Syrinx armor, it's really, really bulky around the shoulders and the chest, and more so than other frames. I feel like it adds a good amount of heft, you know? So putting those on top help balance everything out just a little bit more, and kind of give him more of an epic robotic look, you know what I mean? And the thing that I think is fantastic about this is the fact that Reiku's skins have some really cool detailing on it that almost look like they carry through the Syrinx armor. So it's kind of like the two have melded together, and I think are absolutely fantastic. The geometry is there, it all kind of fits. Now, I do want to give you guys one quick tip. So as you can see, I've colored this version of Wukong with this rich chocolate brown, and I've got some teal accents on him. Now, those two colors I've always felt paired really, really well together. In fact, the original variation of this was going to be like more of like a jade Wukong skin. I wanted to do, you know, kind of like, you know, a jade monkey kind of thing. However, I fell in love with the way that teal fell in on him. So do want to give you one quick tip that goes along with this. Originally, in the previous version, he was actually much lighter. I actually swapped the tertiary and the accent colors because of the fact that I felt like the, you know, the chocolatiness needed to take more precedent over the creamier parts. But what you can do, and I wanted to show you this look because I thought it was a really cool kind of look, is you can actually lighten it up by flip-flopping your tertiary and your accent color. So as you can see here, I've actually swapped for a lighter tertiary, and now I'm going to take that exact same color that I put on the from the tertiary and move that down to the accents. So you can see exact same colors that we've used, we just went ahead and flip-flopped them. Gives a completely different feel, but I still think looks fantastic, which is something that you're actually going to see in our last look. Alrighty, for our last look, I was absolutely determined to use a lighter tertiary and a darker accent just because of the previous slot that I was working on. I was like, I gotta play around with this, and I really want to do a light tertiary. So this is the variation that I actually came up with. And so while I was working on this, I was also really inspired to use some kind of violet, but I found that a lot of the times when I was using the violet felt a little too strong, it felt a little too bold, and I know I was saying that you could use bold colors on this earlier, but it was a little bit bolder than I wanted for any particular look. So I actually went with this taupey, violet-y, kind of like dusty rose kind of look, and then I paired it up with this soft gold. Now, of course, everything is all kind of in the same wheelhouse when it comes to tonality, so it is a little bit monochromatic, but I figured that I would go ahead and have it pop a little bit with its energy color. Still not 100% sure that this is the energy color that I want to go with, but it kind of goes to show you that you can go really bold on a look when you have monochromatic colors. In addition, I went ahead and tossed on the Avia, it's one of those two. I'm sure it's around those kind of times, that armor set. And the reason that I love this armor set for Wukong is, number one, you guys know that I have like this obsession with armor placement. So for those of you who are unaware, all of these armor placements are actually done by hand by DE. So when they have little cool things like this is what I love, is when the wings come down, it almost kind of like fits into that little notch, and I'm like, oh, I love it. And the thing that I think is fantastic about it is mainly because of the fact that it's not super obtrusive to the skin itself. I like the skin to kind of like be the center stage of all of these looks and not necessarily be like hunkered down with a bunch of armor from a bunch of mismatching sets. That just doesn't feel too right. So that's why I've always liked the Avia, because it exists, it adds adornment without necessarily just overtaking the skin like certain other accessory pieces would. So I'm a big fan of this one, plus the fact that we got to use a little bit of a rosy metallic on some of the accessories. I really like it, and I'm very curious to see which one you guys think is your personal favorites out of A, B, and C. Which one would you look for? Because legitimately, I think I'm leaning towards B right now, but that's just my own personal feeling. I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure. I'm definitely torn. And of course, before we go, we gotta take a look at how this skin works with different helmets, and how this helmet works with different skins. There's really only one skin, but you know, let's cross that bridge when we get there. So of course, the Auman helmet I think is a great match for the skin, and it better be, because that's the one that he came with. However, a couple of the DE made helmets don't really fit this one all too well. As you can see, the original Wukong, it's got its own metallics kind of going on, and as you know, the textures are not the same as the one that Reiku works with, so it doesn't really quite, you know, fit in. Same goes for the Wukong Dasheng, and as you guys know, the Wukong Dasheng for some reason gives me nightmares. This one freaks me the hell out. I do like the patterning that, you know, comes down and out from the actual helmet itself, but I don't know, the shape of that head just freaks me out. The Wukong Macaque helmet, I actually feel is the only one that really fits with this one. Well, still the textures are a little bit off, as you can see, kind of like the way that the light shines down on it, but a lot of the kind of like the base face structures that are maybe not that red aren't as shiny. They're a little bit more matte, so they're more similar to how the skin works. So if you like the Macaque helmet, that one, I will give a thumbs up on that one. Not my favorite mix, but as you guys know, one of my favorites. One of my favorites, and I'm tempted to take you on a ride, and we'll look at how it fits with all the other ones, is the Xingzi helmet. I'm a big fan of this one, and I think we're going to take a look at how this looks on the second one before we go, because legitimately, if we're like embracing that Voltron look, I think, or not Voltron look, that Gundam look, this would go perfectly with it. Another Reiku creation, by the way, so you know, it's kind of like you're mixing and matching, but you're mixing and matching within the same line, you know? He's using the same textures, everything maps out nicely. I'm a fan of it, but before we go ahead and move on to that, let's go ahead and take a look at how this helmet works on the standard Wukong skin. Not very well, I would say. I mean, it doesn't look bad. It just doesn't necessarily look like it fits. Not my favorite of the bunch, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. So we're going to go back real quick. We're going to go ahead and swap to the different customization here. Oh, let's go ahead and swap the colors back real fast, because I did want to test this with the color thing that I was working with earlier. because I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of Reiku's Zing Z helmet. So when this one came through, I was like, wait a second, hold on. Which one do I like better? Which one do I want to make work better with the skin? And it was a really, really tough decision. But I think that this look could use a little bit of a futuristicness. Oh, I think that looks pretty fucking badass. I really, really like it. And the Zing Z helmet is absolutely fantastic because that kind of like, because number one, the crown that kind of goes around his head, you know, is part of the lore for Wukong, who I guess gets this like crown that like tightens on his head if he's like a bad monkey or something like that. But the fact that it's kind of like an illuminated texture, I love that, especially with like really bright neon colors for energy. Super, super ultra fantastic. Let me know how you guys feel about the Auman skin. Let me know if you guys prefer the Zing Z helmet. Let me know if you prefer the Auman helmet with it. You know, it's 2 different helmets. I'm really into that. Let me know which customization was your favorite. And I think the big thing that I always wanted to put down here is a lot of people had stated that they did not like Wukong because of the way that he looks. Did not really want to take the time to play him. So let me know now. Are you feeling a little bit more inclined to fiddle with your monkey and his big stick? Are you guys gonna do that now because of the way he's been remodeled by Reiku? I think he did a fantastic job. Toss your opinions down in the comments below. And as for now, you know, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch yo monkey. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!